This week, our heroes talk about New Year's 2020, YouTube bustin', and Jess has 7,200 second old pizza. All this and more on this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Baked Fresh Daily. Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. We are good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me at Gone to the Snow Dogs and Snow Dogs Vlogs.
Jess, it is our official first episode of the decade. I'm so excited. A chance for new beginnings, fresh starts, and broken resolutions. How do you feel being into this new decade already? Honest. Look at you trying to be polite, trying to think of a word that doesn't make you sound sad.
I'm like, it's great. I don't know. I get to go to the dentist tomorrow and see if they can fix my tooth, so maybe it'll get better. We did get snow, so that's good.
Yeah, but you have to look at it this way. You're going to go to the dentist in 2020. You have no idea what innovations have been done since last week. And same with the snow. This is new millennia snow. This is new decade snow. It could be it's the freshest of all the snow. So maybe tomorrow there'll be lasers that fix your teeth, or a robot with the voice of Scarlett Johansson telling you to relax.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It could be good. You know, I spent New Year's Eve playing Mario Kart with you. That's pretty much how we spent our New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we had a whole group of people playing.
We do. We have this little Facebook group called Switches Get Stitches. And it's for all our Mario Kart crew. And so, we had some people playing on there. Even at midnight, you stopped just for a little bit to rein in the new year because you're 3 hours later than me. And so that's pretty much how old people rein in the new year.
Right? We're like, woo, okay.
I watched a lot of live streams from Disney World where they were having this crazy fireworks party, which pretty much just like the white balance just made the screen pretty much white. But it was really, really, really neat. And then I watched another live streamer that was in Times Square at New York.
Oh, right.
Which sounded...
So you kind of got to see that live from somebody else's perspective instead of what was on TV?
It was crazy. So I put it on. It was on YouTube Live. So I put it on. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon my time. So it's 7 o'clock his time. And I'm watching him. And he's shoved in the front row. And you can see half a stage. And it's kind of crazy. And I'm thinking all these things of like, wow, like this guy, like... I feel like... people go there and do it once in a lifetime because of the craziness. At one point, he said he had been there for 7 hours already, and it was only 4 in the afternoon our time. So really? 7 his time. So he'd been there since noon to get a decent seat. And I'm like, nobody ever does this twice. And he's like, this is my second year in a row doing it. And I'm like, wow, you're crazy. I kind of want to try it. Would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't?
Go to New York for New Year's Eve?
Yeah. What if we did it?
I've been to New York. I have no interest in being stuck in that town on New Year's Eve.
But we can sit there and listen to the likes of Kelly Clarkson sing Since You've Been Gone or something good like that. Like we get to be there in the crowds.
No. Like, it's interesting. I like watching it on TV. I can't say that it's something I would ever actually want to do. They actually do a cherry ball drop in Traverse City. So there's like a whole smaller scale version of it that's only 2.5 hours from our house. Kind of the same thing, though. They have live music and they have all this food and blah, 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 blah. So it's like a little smaller scale party. Might handle something like that. But having been in New York City, I don't think I could do it. Maybe it's because I've been there.
Everybody looks super cold.
Yeah, well, it wasn't actually that cold there this year. There have been times where it's been really cold there.
I want to do one. I want to do it one. Look, here's the thing. Like,
you should.
Can you get around wearing a diaper? Because you have to wear a diaper. You don't wear a diaper because of Baby New Year. You wear a diaper because like you can't. There's nowhere to go. Like, what am I gonna do? There's a gajillion people on the streets. It's not like that. It's not like Fifth Avenue. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I know it's a candy bar. It like has a row of like bathrooms. Like, what do you do? You have to wear a diaper. You have to wear a New Year's diaper.
No, I'm sure they have porta potties out all over. Or you just do what the other people in New York that don't have anywhere to go to the bathroom do, and you go in the bushes, because that happens there.
I'm still going with diaper. I think what I'm trying to get at is I just want to wear diapers.
That could be. Maybe you don't really want to go to New York. You just want to wear a diaper.
But I thought it was really cool. I mean, I watched this live stream for a while until I couldn't watch it anymore. But you're kind of just crammed in there like a sardine.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. And like I said, maybe if I had never actually gone to New York, maybe I would have found it more interesting, but having been there and having tried to get out of that city, it's not something that and I guess if you went and you like stayed the night somewhere close to Times Square so you didn't have to travel out of the city that night, or maybe stayed a couple of days, it wouldn't be so bad. No, it's still going to be bad. Getting in and out of that city is not fun.
There was so much confetti at midnight that when it was clearing out and Ryan Seacrest was talking, there was showing shots of people laying in the middle of the street on piles of confetti taking selfies. And so after I was done with the live stream, I went to New Year's Eve on ABC. I think that's the one with Ryan Seacrest, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I watched that, and that was fun. But one thing that I noticed, well, actually, you know what? You pointed it out to me. I should give you credit for this. There was YouTube logos everywhere.
Yeah, YouTube was actually the big sponsor. It was whatever the Rockin' New Year's Eve, whatever they call it. It was actually sponsored by YouTube. They were the headlining sponsor.
Which was interesting to me. So does ABC, Google owns YouTube. Is ABC owned by Google? Like what, how did that happen?
ABC's owned by Disney.
Interesting, because here's the thing, it's like, why would I let Channel 11's show like infiltrate my show? Like, what's in it for ABC? I guess so.
Money, a lot of money.
So there was YouTube logos all over the screen, but yet there was like no YouTube people there. It was like Gronkowski from the Patriots, a girl that wasn't the Friday girl. It wasn't Rebecca Black, but it was another girl. But none of these people were from YouTube.
That would have been neat if they would have had some YouTube people there. They had like Marcus Brownlee had like a little commercial spot. There was somebody else that did one. There was another YouTube commercial spot that I saw with the creator on it. But yeah, it would have been neat if they would have had some YouTubers helping host or something.
But like you said, commercials. There was 2 spot ads going to commercials about YouTube that were pretty much throwaway ads. Like they look like an Apple ad. But there was nobody on the live show. They didn't do anything that represented YouTube. They didn't talk about the word YouTube. They didn't do anything at all. And I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
Nobody was there.
Yeah, that was a little interesting. They definitely could have done that differently.
What did I get from looking at that logo? Like, ooh, that piece of red cheese looks like a bad clip art of pizza, and you expect me to take just those words and go figure out what's sponsoring the show? That didn't seem like it was very good. Not only that, like I looked on YouTube, they weren't live streaming it. Shouldn't YouTube be live streaming the ABC thing?
I thought the same thing. I'm like, that would have been really cool if that was something they would have actually done.
And I don't want to really take it down this path, but here we go. YouTube has fully abandoned the creators that built YouTube.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They're a corporate. Your friend got an acting job, and he don't want to be your friend no more. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's pretty much what it is. They say that, what is it, like less than 25% of the top channels on YouTube are actual creators. The rest of them are all corporate.
Yes, and that percentage is going to grow more and more. And I don't want to sound like a YouTube bashing podcast. Welcome to this week's episode of the YouTube Bash Cup podcast. I don't want to sound like that. But this is what happens when the company you work for is going through changes. You know, YouTube is what, like 10, 12, 13-year-old? YouTube's going through puberty right now. It's changing. It's liking other stuff. It doesn't like me anymore. And it was just weird to see it. I was proud that like this platform that we've been on that was nothing is on mainstream television. But to what, like snake oil? Like what's going on? What is going on? Does Ryan Seacrest even have a YouTube presence at all?
I don't actually know. I don't know if he does. It's an interesting turn of events, that's for sure. Especially, I think part of the reason they probably put all that money behind it was because they know that they're going to get hit really hard with all this kids content stuff that's going to start happening. So they're like, we got to be relevant and let people know that we're here and you can stream our stuff.
See, and this is, I'll say, okay, this is how I kind of feel, but I don't know if it's going to happen. YouTube is going to slaughter us all for the greater good of YouTube. They're like, look, we'll put this COPA thing in place. We'll destroy these channels. And I don't think at this point there's any looking back or there's any fixing what they've done or any rewording it. They're done with us. They need to put that knife into our stomach because they need to go on to the next chapter, which is corporate businesses and stuff. So they need to kill it all. And they did. Yeah. They killed everything. They've killed you. They've killed potential for anybody to do anything good that doesn't get under the umbrella of a MMC, which is a multi-marketed
MCN.
channel. Or MCN.
But even MCNs right now, MCNs can't sell targeted ads. So even MCNs right now are still worthless.
Yeah, so they're losing the battle too. So we're the pebbles, they're the rocks, and the rocks are losing. Like
I mean, there's a lot of sides to it, though. I had somebody ask me that the other day, is it worth it to start a YouTube channel today? And
yes.
I still feel like it is. I feel like, yes, there's a lot of corporate things happening, but there is still a lot of growth happening on a lot of really weird, random channels that just, for some reason, work and take off. So, yes, it's really corporate, and yes, I wouldn't say it's any harder to make a channel now than it was years ago, because it's always been hard. I think it's only a little harder now because there's so many more options for people to choose from. It's harder now to stay relevant than it was 5-10 years ago. 5-10 years ago, there was less choice, so it was easier to be a relevant channel. Now you become irrelevant very quickly. People have a very short attention span. And I think, like you said, I don't think YouTube is dying. I don't think YouTube is dead, but I feel like their connection with the creators who built the platform, the individual creators, not the corporations, is what is taking a big hit right now.
Absolutely. I do feel that way. And yes, please start your own YouTube channel. Please make it. You will be successful if you have the drive of Jess. If you just want to work all the time, you will be successful. If you don't have that drive, then no. But if you have that drive, do it. The cream will rise to the top. If you put in good work, you'll get good work out of it. Maybe there's not many pennies to be made on YouTube, but tell that to David Dobrik, whose most of his videos are demonetized. He makes his money elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just his voice to get it across to people. That's just his medium that he uses to get it in front of our faces when we should be going to SeatGeek and buying stuff from SeatGeek. So yeah, don't stop. It's no different than like being an actor. If you want to be an actor, go be an actor, because they're still gonna need to be actors.
Yep.
It's so yeah. Don't quit. It's just times are changing.
Yeah. But it's been that way ever since the inception. I remember the 2012 hit. I remember when they changed a lot, and we've talked about this many times on the podcast, that, the changes that have happened through YouTube over the years. I've watched friends that have had channels they had for a really long time, and their channels completely die because YouTube made one switch in the algorithm. But at the same time, and I was actually watching a video on video creators this morning with Tim Schmoyer, and he was actually talking about, what tends to happen is YouTube will make a change, and then what you see is everybody complaining about the change. But whenever YouTube creates losses for certain channels, they also create insane gains for other channels. And because you're only seeing the people who are now getting hit complaining, the people that are getting the gains are now putting in 10 times more work because now they're making way more money and they're doing so much better and they're able to do all this stuff. They're not on there complaining or even being excited about the fact that their channels took off because they don't have time.
Right.
So for every hit YouTube gives, somebody's getting rewarded. That's pretty much seems to be what happens. So you kind of just have to write it out. Sometimes you have really good days and sometimes you have really bad days.
It's a give and take. But what about people like a little bit bigger than you? What about Good Mythical Morning? What happened to Rhett and Link? Like, have you watched any of their videos lately? Ooh, this sounds bad. I love Rhett and Link. I'm looking over at the bobblehead dolls of them. I saw Rhett the other day on a video and he looked blasted. He looked blasted, almost like Prank versus Prank looked blasted. Like he looked stoned. Right away, I can tell. Like, I look at his eyes, he looked stoned, and his beard was out of control. And I love them. Don't get me wrong. Remember, I like your stuff. That's,
right?
Like, I like them.
That's where it came from.
But I'm really worried about them. They've been all over the place. They've been having other people on their show. They've been collaborating. They've been trying to get themselves out of there. What about companies like those? Because they have a place. They have a Good Mythical, like, studio, like Rooster Teeth.
Yep. Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen to them, because they're one of the people that I do not see them on anything else but YouTube.
Well, and you remember you used to see them on the trending page all the time, and now they're not there anymore. But they, I think, I might be wrong, they put all their eggs in one basket, right? They're YouTubers. They're on TikTok now. They just started a TikTok. I saw them on there the other day.
I am unaware of that.
I just saw it the other day. So they do have a TikTok now. So they've branched out there. I don't know if they have a presence on Facebook.
I've never seen them on Facebook.
Would imagine they do, because, I mean, they should, because there's monetization for videos on Facebook. But I don't know if their content would work on Facebook. Really? Let's look.
Yep. I just typed in GMM from Good Mythical Morning, and it's down there. There's There's some groups with 11,000 members, 1K members. Like, I don't see a presence. I should be able to type that in and have them pop right to the top.
Yeah, because it looks like they have a Good Mythical Morning Facebook page they are doing their videos on there, but they're...
How many people are
they're doing pretty good. 151,000 followers on their Good Mythical Morning Facebook page, and their videos are pulling in 800,000 views, 800,000 views, 4 million views, 3 million views, 2 million views. So they are pulling in... Wow, that's really weird, though. This one has 4.1 million views and only 18 comments.
Okay, here's where I'm curious about. How many subscribers did you say that they had in that group?
On the page?
Yes, on that page.
222,000 people follow it.
Jess, how many subscribers do you have in Gone to the Snow Dogs on Facebook?
2.7 million.
So their videos are being seen by them bouncing around on some algorithm. If they're having 4 million views, if the views are so much lopsided than the subscribers, their videos are just bouncing out there somewhere. Why is there only 100,000 people coming to see them and subscribing to them and saying yes to them?
It's really weird because they're showing like 800,000 views, but only 13 comments.
Yeah, so where is that going?
18 comments on a video with 4.1 million views.
That is not right.
That's really strange. That's not right. That's
right.
Weird.
And let me say it so you don't have to. And I could be wrong, and we're just spitballing here. They're gaming the system somehow. These videos are being embedded somewhere else. Somebody's watching them somewhere else where there's no comments, or comments are disabled, or embeddings turned on, so I can put them on my .com. And it's just the video with the no comment area. But they still should have more. Even if they have 0.1% of everybody that subscribes to them, they should have more comments than that.
Yeah, so like for a relative, I posted a video the other day that has 90,000 views,
right,
but it has 318 comments.
Yes.
I posted another video the other day that has 470,000 views. This is on Facebook, by the way. And it has 410 comments.
Yeah, you see what we're getting at here? I posted a video today, and I think I already have a half a dozen comments on it with like 200 views. Like, that's not right.
That's really strange. I wonder if they're only showing up in like the Facebook watch system. But even my videos show up in the Facebook watch system, and I have more comments.
Does it count as a view when it passes by my eyes? Because I see that on the analytics.
Yes. So the way it works on Facebook, for those of you that don't know, when you're scrolling down a page, if you have auto play on videos turned on, usually by the time you scroll past a video on Facebook, you've watched it for 3 seconds. So Facebook counts that initial 3 seconds as a view.
Yes.
Which is why Facebook views are kind of screwy.
But it'll make you feel good about yourself. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So that's kind of the way it works. And the metrics on Facebook is there's the 3-second view that they look at. Mm-hmm. Then there's a 10-second view that they look at. If you can get people to watch 10 seconds of your video instead of just 3 seconds, that means people are slightly interested in your content.
Right.
That means Facebook's going to try to show it to more people.
Okay, because that's the hook.
If you can get 1 minute views, Facebook will put your content out to way more people organically.
Yes, because now you've stopped your consumer-driven life where everybody's tugging for your attention and you're giving it to this video, so we want more of it. So by that logic, you are getting better value of what you are doing than Rhett and Link on Good Mythical Morning. You're getting
on
more.
Facebook,
yes, you're getting more engagement. Yeah. You're getting true engagement. You're getting real people. They might be in front of a lot of people's faces, and people at home. You can pay for this. I can take one of my videos and pay for it to get in a lot of people's faces, and I might get the same views and results as them. But it is not happening organically. They are scrambling, as my point is, to make this product go in front of your face in hopes that 18 people had something to say about it. Ouch.
Right.
Ouch, they were number one. I have bobbleheads. You don't have bobbleheads.
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, what if you and... Oh, here we go. What if you and Jamie had bobbleheads?
I'd have to make them of the dogs.
No. I want one of you.
Yeah, no.
Every time I disagree with you, I want to flick the bobblehead and you go, and I'm making bobblehead face right now. You'd be doing. Oh, bobbleheads would be awesome. But yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with them. On
the back end of Instagram's Creator Studio, I can see we put up a video that had 460,000 views. Mm-hmm. So of those 460,000 views, it says 460,000 3-second views. So everybody watched it at least 3 seconds. Of that, 260,000 of those people watched it for 10 seconds. And of that, 130,000 people watched it for 1 minute or longer.
See.
So that's how it breaks it down. Yeah.
See, so it's just by those numbers, like, what's happening to Good Mythical Morning? Like, that's got to be hard. You think it's hard for, like, you. Like, what is going on with corporations like that? Or Smosh. Smosh told a story. Smosh predicted the future. They went under, and sure, they come back because you're going to bounce back. You're going to have the loyalists. You know, I fully, like, if your YouTube page crumbled, you're always going to have the people that love you so much. They will follow you to wherever you go next to build that next empire. So Smosh came back, and Good Mythical Morning will come back. But I could see it in their face. It didn't look good, Jess. I didn't not like Rhett's face.
Yeah, I haven't watched them. Like I said, I haven't watched them recently. I saw them on TikTok the other day, but... You know, I think there's a lot of things that could be going on. They're probably stressed like everybody else on YouTube right now. Like, nobody knows what's going on. One, it's January, so everybody's taking between a 50 to 90% hit in their revenue for the next couple of months, which when you have a bunch of employees and a family and all that, that's a lot. It's a lot to consider and think about. Oh, yeah. But you're right. I haven't seen them as much lately, so... I don't know. They must be hitting hard times.
Which is YouTube
flipped a switch, and now they're not relevant anymore. You have to remain relevant.
What do you think?
I tell you, right now, if you want to be successful on YouTube right now, today, make a channel with your dog and feed it food and put little captions over top of it and call it blah, 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 blah taste test or blah, 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 blah ASMR taste test. Those do really good right now. And the other thing, the kids' costume thing that they used to be able to do on YouTube where the parents would dress up in costumes and chase their kids around, and it was really weird, but it worked. And for a long time, it was really popular until YouTube was like, no, we can't do this.
Right.
You're 100% allowed to do it if there's a pet in the video. So now there's people going around dressing up like Anna and Elsa and chasing their dogs around.
With a parrot on their shoulder.
And the views they're getting are... unreal. So if you want to conform to the conformists and just do something that's working, those are a few of the things that are clearly working right now.
It looks like I'm hitting the costume store after we're done wrapping it up here.
I'm not picking on anybody that's making that type of content. It's one of the things you notice. You notice how content changes. It's like years ago, this is what worked. Now this is what they want. They want dogs eating food with baby words over top of them. You know, like not baby words, but the silly, I guess it's baby words, baby talk. That's it, baby talk. Dogs eating food with baby talk and dogs with people in costumes. It's so strange to me, but it's what's working. But that also just goes to show that it is a lot of kids that are watching YouTube nowadays because that's really what they love.
Mm-hmm. The 14-year-olds rule the internet. And we talk about this, and I know we talk about this a lot on the podcast, but I like it because this is the byproduct of the internet. All the cat videos that you love and all your videos of dogs doing great things and all these like win videos, they come at a price, and this is it. The weirdness in the background that you see when you go behind the curtains of anything. It's like Oz.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
But I wouldn't trade it for the world. This is amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, it's still great. It's still great.
And I love, like I said, I'm not picking on people that make videos like that. I love the fact that they're able to actually do that and they're able to make something of it. I think that's great. There's a few types of those videos that I always thought would be fun, like the taste test videos. I've done a handful of those. I always thought those would be really fun to do, but in a different style. Like I have a different vision for the way it would be, which probably wouldn't work because it's not the format. You know what I mean? Like, would the format I want to use work considering it's not the format everybody else is using, but I don't want to use what everybody else is using because then I just feel like I'm blatantly copying people. I like to, when I see a video where I go, wow, that's a really cute video, I think that would work on my channel, how can I adapt it and turn it into something that fits my brand and fits what I would do without blatantly copying. But then I always like to be like, hey, I saw this originally on so-and-so's channel, or I saw this originally on I would like to give credit to the people I saw it originally on. So there is some of those things that like I watch and I go, wow, I could do that, but I don't know how I would do it without making it look like a blatant copy. And then I'm like, I don't want to do it if I'm copying those people.
Yeah, and that's hard. For me as a creator, I look at it like this: like you can imitate until you can innovate. If you like my videos and you like how I make vlogs, make RFS Dan vlogs, because doing that, you're going to figure out what you like, and then you're going to end up going off to make your own stuff. So I don't think there's anything wrong with copying the things. I made videos, I made Charles Trippy videos for years. I would watch his videos and go like, okay, this is what works. This is what doesn't. I am a blatant ripoff of Charles Trippy with maybe a couple extra jokes in there because I loved what he did and I wanted to do that as well. I wanted to play in the NHL. I wanted to do those things. But
you still put your own style to it. It's like the Casey Neistat vloggers or the Peter McKinnon vloggers. They take the Casey Neistat format or the Peter McKinnon format, and they really do adapt what they like, but also adapt it to... Now, not to say that there aren't people that literally just blatantly do exactly what they do and think it'll work, but when you take the format that they're using and adapt it to your own format, it can work. So if you see something you like and you want to do it, you should totally do it. Like, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying that. But put a spin on it and make it your own. And that is where you're going to win at that game.
Yeah, if I had the cinematography skills of like a Casey Neistat or what's that other guy that you're in love with the backpacks? Peter McKinnon. If I had a drone, if I had a drone, people, you would get a drone shot of my house on every vlog. Like, I love them. If I could copy their videos, like I would copy their videos because it's what makes me happy and I want to imitate that. So I think that's great, and then you'll find your own niche. I found my own niche. I'm different than Charles Trippy, but I came from the same bite. Like, I bit him forever. I'm like, oh look, this is what works in a supermarket. This is what works with the camera angle. I stole his stuff. There wasn't much to steal back then because everything was new. But when he would get a new camera, or he'd get a new camera angle, or he would talk to his dog. He was the first person I seen that would talk to his dogs with bubble letters on it. You do it. Maybe it's not from him, but it's part of you.
And that was the thing. I did that for a while. I don't do it often, but I did do that for a while. When I started, there wasn't any real dog YouTubers. There was Mishka the Husky. But I wouldn't even class them as like a dog YouTuber. They were doing what you used to do back in the day on YouTube, and they were just uploading a random home movie style video, the dog talking or saying I love you or howling. And that was it. So like when I started my channel, I looked at what they were doing and I'm like, I want to make videos with my dogs, but I don't want to make just a video of my dog. I kind of wanted it to be a more structured channel. So like you said, I took what they were doing, tried to figure out how could I make something similar without copying and make it my own. And that's kind of when I came up with the format of my channel, which has been imitated as well many, 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 many times over the years. And I've seen people who have watched my channels for years that have, started off with an imitation of what I do and then formed their own version of their channel based off, putting themselves out there and doing it. And then their channels have blown up, which I think is amazing. I love the fact that people were inspired to start doing YouTube because of us. Like, I don't care if they pass me in subscribers. I don't care if they're 10 times bigger than me. The fact that it was our channel that inspired them to start to actually take the risk and do it, I think is just amazing. I think it's great that there are people out there that we have been able to inspire to push them outside of their comfort zone and get themselves out there and try something new. And I love that. I love that we have the ability to do that.
But there is a channel that watched you, decided they were going to do what you did, and they are more successful than you.
Yeah. There's actually there's a couple of them.
How do you quantify that,
It's part of it is timing. Part of it is my channel is 10 years old. So I started a long time ago and I wasn't a big trend follower. And I know I've talked about this a lot. My channel would be huge if I just would have jumped on every popular trend. But I didn't because it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I feel like some of the people that watched us, were inspired from us, got started from us, then started doing more trending things because they saw what they were doing was working. So then they were finding what other people was doing and working. So they were kind of replicating those things, which kind of helped them to just continue this growth pattern, which is awesome. Like I said, it is what it is and it's great. And it's just neat to see. And like I said, I could have jumped on the trends and I could have jumped on the train, but I just like what I do. No, I'm different, and I'm okay with that.
You're different because what you're telling me right now is what you're explaining to me is high school. This is the popular group in high school, and if you want to be popular, you're going to be part of this group, and you are not that. I can't even get you to tell me what Disney character you are on Instagram because you refuse to install that app because everybody else in high school is installing that app. And yes, it is like high school. We have our peers. We have the people that we started vlogging with, like Di and I are from the same class. We both started at the same time.
Right.
Years later, like we're from the same like internet high school, and you don't want to follow those trends. Will it hurt you in the pocketbook? Probably. Will you have self-respect? Yes.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, I've done trends. I have found my fidget spinners were a huge thing. And when fidget spinners came out, they were actually something that I liked and I thought they were neat. And when Jamie and I talked about it, and I'm like, let's make a fidget spinner dog treat. That video blew up because nobody else was making fidget spinner dog treats. We made a fidget spinner dog treat that actually spun, but that was a trend and it was popular and we jumped on the train and we rode that out. But I made it something that I enjoyed. I didn't just take fidget spinners and show them to my dogs.
You turned it into food.
Yeah, I created something that made it more on brand, more with what I do, and, just fun. My dogs somehow ended up in this room, so if you hear rustling in the background, it's the dogs.
Ooh, special guest. I'm sure people will be more than happy to hear that. You hit that fidget spinner video, though, at the apex of the fidget spinner. And man, the stock, I have never seen stock crash more than in fidget spinners or Farmville. Man, it just like, one day it was great. The next day the kid came in. He's like, you have a fidget spinner? Somebody left one in the bike shop and I was playing with it. I'm like, look, kids, I'm cool too. Don't look at the gray hair. Look at my fidget spinner. And we're like, fidget spinners. But the kid was riding around in Heelys. So I was like, well, those aren't in style after, either. But yeah, no, I get it. It's all about the timing. But it's all
100%.
about giving up part of yourself. We've had this talk before about ASMR videos, and you're like, I would just win the lottery if I just ASMR'd my dogs, but like, I can't get around that.
If you look at ASMR dog videos, it's crazy. And some of them are just a pure ASMR, and then some of them are that combination of ASMR and baby talk text over what you think your dog is thinking, which I project what my dogs are thinking all the time on them in the vlogs. I just don't put text over their heads, but I do it in their little voices and things like that.
We all do to our pets.
I know it's something that I could do and something that would work and would blow up. But again, like you said, it's just not.
It's not.
I don't think I would have fun with it. Like, as much fun as they are to watch, I don't think it's something that I would be able to continuously make and actually have fun with.
No, because you won't watch it. If you were not a YouTube creator and you and I were chilling out on the couch on Saturday, you're not putting on dog ASMR videos.
Right.
So I get that.
Exactly.
It's, because you do kind of still make the stuff that you want to see. If you didn't, my GoPro video that I made years ago on my GoPro, nobody had a GoPro review video for vloggers, only action cams. So I wanted that. So I got the camera and I made that video. You don't want to see more ASMR dog videos, so you're not going to make an ASMR dog video.
Right.
Wow, Jess, this conversation was really like, I'm still on bullet point number 1 from the podcast. I was about to ask you if you had any New Year's resolutions, and here we are 33 minutes in, waxing intellectual about the logistics of our job. Would you tune into a podcast where everybody just complain about their job at Mickey D's?
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
But I enjoy all this like inside baseball talk. Like, this is the stuff that happens behind the scenes of the creators. What do you think Rhett and Link's talks are when their cameras are off? Or, what do you think they talk about? They must have the same conversations and the same theories as we do.
Yeah, they might. They really might. I mean, I'm sure it's something they talk about. I'm sure it's something they discuss.
Well, that being said, Jess, it is a beautiful time to have a career in content creation.
It's a very interesting life.
It is.
I tell you, it's not for the faint of heart, and it is not for everybody.
You know what it is for? It is for the hard worker. It is for the hard worker and someone that can take criticism, because whoosh.
Yes. The drama.
Yes. So speaking of drama, Jess, I heard you got a Domino's pizza in your town.
Oh my gosh. So we had one, I don't know what it was, maybe 15 or 20 years ago there was one here.
Oh, okay. So you're not new to Domino's.
No, it was a long time ago though, and it closed, and just recently our 7-Eleven closed, and some people bought the building and they decided to put a Domino's pizza in there. They tried to get a drive-through, but the city wouldn't let them have a drive-through at that location, which I thought was kind of sad, but they do delivery. But see, we live in a tiny little town. City population of 11,000 people. So I think there's 20,000 people in the entire county. Mm-hmm. Every time Alpena gets something new, it gets slammed for a month because people don't want to wait to try it. They want to try it right now. They want to see what it's like right now. And you get two types of people. You get the people that know and understand that the place just opened and that they're going to be busy, so that it's going to take a while and you have to be willing to wait. And then you get the people that are I'm the customer and I'm always right and I'm entitled to get my food when I want it because I paid for it. And
Yes.
you said it was only going to take an hour and now it's taken 2 hours and now I'm the most unhappy person ever. And Domino's is the worst place to order from ever and they have the worst customer service and everything's bad, even though you should have known that they were going to be busy.
Yeah, and here's the thing about that, and it comes from a couple different reasons. Like, we had a Habit Burger open up in our town, and the line was out the door for months. But I could see the line out the door. When I ordered Domino's pizza, and now the line, there is no line. I go in there and I get my food right away. The novelty's over. But with Domino's, it's like, I'm sitting in my house, I'm hanging out. I've been to your town. Like, after the sun goes down, like, you're left with your own devices. There's nowhere to go or nowhere to be. So bring me my $5 pizza. You know, back in the day, it used to be 30 minutes or less, or it's free. Do you remember those Domino's days?
Yeah, I do.
Man, that caused deaths. That caused accidents. Do you remember the Noid from Domino's back in the late 80s?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't mess with the Noid.
I do. Well, like, we ordered online, so we waited like a week or so, and we were going to have dinner the one day, and I'm like, we could get pizza. I'm like, it's gonna take a while, and it was like a little after 5 o'clock. I'm like, it's gonna take a while. I know it's gonna take a while. I'm like, but I'll get on and see if their online ordering is active, because they had it inactive for a while. Like, anytime they would have too much stuff, they would just inactivate it. So I'm like, all right, we'll see. So I got online and it let me order, and it told me it was going to be like, I think it said 55 minutes. And I'm like, I have a feeling it's going to be more than an hour. Right. So an hour goes by, hour and a half goes by. I'm like, maybe I should call just to make sure, that the order went in. Well, but I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be upset about it, because it said it went through, but it just was stuck at the beginning of the tracker. Okay,
and that's the thing that I was going to ask you real quick. On Domino's Pizza, for those of you guys that don't have Domino's Pizza, there's a little tracker which will say, place in your order, prepare in your order, put it in the oven. Then the next little light that lights up means that it's being checked, and then it's out for delivery, and it tells the guest, it says who's delivering it to you.
Right.
So it was stuck at like the first one,
yes. Right? For a full hour and a half. So I'm like, I'm just going to try to call. So I called, and somehow their phone was clear, and I actually got through, and the guy picked up the phone, and right away I'm like, I know you guys are super busy, and I'm not upset, and I just want to know if my order made it through. I did the online ordering. Here's my order number, and if you could give me a possible ETA. And the guy laughed, and he goes, yeah, hold on just a second. So, I was on hold for like 2 minutes, and he comes back and he goes, I'm really, really, really sorry. It's going to be at least another hour. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm okay with that. And he goes, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure that it went through. As long as it went through, that's all I care about. And he goes, oh, okay, well, yeah, it'll be about another hour, but we'll get it to you. And I'm like, no problem.
Right.
So it was probably 45 minutes, and the tracker thing started moving, and I'm like, all right, cool. They're making our food. It's going to be here. They said the delivery was coming. Your pizza's 2 minutes away, or whatever it texted me and said. And the kid gets to the door, and he's got to be maybe just barely 16.
They all are. That's the hard problem, is they all are. It's his first job for sure, right?
Yeah.
Wait, and before you continue, what was your scenario that night? It was just dinner for you and Jamie? Like, you guys were just...
Yeah, it was just dinner for Jamie and I. I think we had done... I don't remember what we had done all day, but I just remember it was one of those days where we were just super busy, and I'm like, I don't want to have to stop what I'm doing to make food. I just want to be able to keep working, and then when food shows up, I can eat and we'll be good. So it was just kind of like that. So the kid shows up, and as soon as I open the door, I'm really sorry about that. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, don't be sorry. I'm like, I know, I'm sure you've had people yell at you. I'm sure you've probably had people trying to throw stuff at you. And he just kind of looked at me and he goes, there's a guy at the store right now that was yelling obscenities at everybody as I was leaving. And I'm like, don't let those people get to you. I'm like, things will get better. I said nobody should treat you guys like that. I'm like, that's ridiculous, and I'm sorry that that's happening to you. And like, I gave him this little pep talk about. I told him, I'm like, I worked in the food service industry for 15 years, and you're always going to have people who think they're right and think that the customer is always right. I said, and that is not true. The customer is not always right, and you don't have to believe that. And like, I gave him this little pep talk, and then I gave him, I don't know, I think I gave him like a $9 tip. I wanted to. I felt so bad. bad for him. But I gave him, I think it was like a $9 tip or something.
Definitely
I don't know. It was,
the most stressed this kid's probably been under in his whole life.
Oh,
he's like,
yes.
Mom, they're opening up a Domino's, and guess what? They hired me. And he's like, oh, I'm so proud of you, son. You're going to have the best time of your life. I know. I watched this YouTube video about careers at Domino's, and they were having the best time. They called them pizza artists. Flash forward to some dude with his open carry inside your Domino's, mad that his twisty sticks were spun counterclockwise instead of clockwise.
Right?
It's hard to work in food. It's hard to work in food services, though, right?
It is. It really is. And I just felt really bad for this kid. And I gave him a tip, and I told him, I said, you make it through these couple of weeks, and I promise people will get better. I'm like, they won't all be better, but it'll get better. And he's like, you don't know how much I appreciate that. This has been really hard. And I'm like, I know. Trust me. I've been on Facebook, and I've watched the idiots on Facebook going, Domino's is the worst ever. It took 4 hours to get my pizza on New Year's Eve. 1, that was the second day they were open. 2, you ordered on New Year's Eve.
Right. 3,
you ordered
Domino's
pizza.
Isn't even that good, guys. It's salty as heck. You want to be dehydrated? Eat some pizza from Domino's.
It's not that good.
It's not.
It's pizza, but for pizza, for pizza that's
$5.99
cheap,
pizza in 2020.
it's not bad, right? And that's the thing. Like, you can't really complain at $5.99. What we had was good. We had pizza, and then we ordered the jalapeno bacon cheese bread, which was really good.
Yes,
and then we
good.
got the specialty chicken. We got the buffalo chicken specialty chicken. So it's like chicken, boneless chicken nuggets with buffalo sauce and cheese on them.
It doesn't look like chicken. It doesn't look like chicken, but it's good. But it is really good.
And it fed us for 2 days. Like, I think I spent $22 with delivery. We ate it 2 days in a row. We ate part of it the first night and part of it the second night. So it wasn't bad, for the price and the delivery, and I didn't have to make anything. And somebody brought me my food.
I've eaten my fair share of Domino's working at the bike shop. I mean, we were getting free pizzas every week, and you have to order 6 times for them. The lady that showed up would come every time, and she knew us, and she was the one I tried to get to ride my unicycle, and she fell off the unicycle, and her Domino's hat went flying up in the air, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't let people ride unicycles inside the bike shop.
Yeah, maybe not.
But I've had my fair share of Domino's, and it's a 6 out of 10. It's not. I might want, Little Caesars might be right there with Domino's. It's not that far off. But at least your Little Caesars had a drive-through, a pizza drive-through. That was my first time in my life I ever went and got a pizza through the drive-through. And do you remember how concerned I was that the box wouldn't fit through the window?
Yes.
I'm like, how are they gonna fit this pizza box through the window? I don't get it. It's widescreen, and your pizza box isn't. And I was super scared about that. There was actually a video that I had that I did not include in the Alpina video when I went to see you of us in that drive-through because you had your credit card in your hand, and I didn't know what to do. If I send it to you, maybe if you want to rotoscope blur it out. It was cute. You and I were in the drive-through, and we were talking about pizza, and I was really concerned about it not coming out the box. And then I talked to the lady, and she was nice to me, but you had your credit card in your hand, and
maybe you should send it to me, and we can upload it to the people on the Patreon. They can see the behind the scenes
credit card thing. My Patreon right now on the Patreon, the video is Vid Summit. I have the Vid Summit video on the Patreon right now.
See, you guys are missing out if you're not on the Patreon.
Yes.
CC Mouse Podcast.
So you got your pizza.
Yes.
You give the kid valuable life lessons, which he can take that with how he wants to. How long has it been since you had Domino's?
The last time I had it was when we were at VidCon.
Okay, we did order Domino's that one night, didn't we?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we do almost every year at VidCon.
We do because we're going to order fancy pizza, and then nobody can decide on anything.
Yep, so we just get Domino's. I decided to take a bunch of pictures of everything and post it online because there were so many people in Alpena that were complaining about how long it was taking and just the mean comments. So I wrote this really big, long,
you
nice
wrote like
review. 500
words.
Yeah, I had to. I felt like I needed to because I felt like it was part of it was like people needed to be reminded that, they're new. And I mean, honestly, it happened to the deli. The day the deli opened in December when we moved to our new location and we opened, it was a madhouse for a month straight. Like, it just did not stop. Every day was insane, and the phone rang off the hook, and we were never able to make as much food as people were trying to order. Like, so I get it. We've been there. We've done it. That's what happens in Alpena. And I just feel like people needed that reminder, like, you guys, don't complain if it takes 3 hours to get your pizza. If you order it at 5 o'clock when everybody else is ordering it, of course it's going to take you a while. I had one guy got so mad at me. He kept telling me, he's like, they should have known. I'm like, they did know. That's why the owners are actually there every day during dinner making pizza with their employees. That's why the owners are there doing grunt work just like everybody else. Well, they should have been prepared for this.
You can't.
Dude, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to build a facility that can pop out 300 pizzas an hour because they have to do that for 2 weeks? And then what? Then they have a facility that can pop out 300 pizzas an hour, but they really only need 50 an hour? Like, what do you expect?
A lot of people are short-sighted on that. You don't need pizza anyway.
He said it. Well, I'm entitled to get my food that I paid for and I ordered when I order it. And I went, oh, block. I can't. No, you're blocked. You're blocked.
I'm sorry, sir, but you don't understand how the world works. I dated somebody that was like that for a while, and it was a very hard / embarrassing situation when we would go out to restaurants and she would ask for unreasonable requests. These requests could be meant if nobody in the world was there to do anything else but serve you.
Right.
And it is crazy. It is crazy what you go through in life to like come up with that conclusion. Like he thought he was right. He's like, this shouldn't be this way. And it was like, that's fine if you're like a king, but guess what? That's not how things work here in America.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Not at all.
Well,
You just gotta. I think the thing people forget is we're all just people. Those people that work at McDonald's in the food service industry and retail, the ones you get mad at because you want them to check their back stock for this one size that they say they don't have, and you're like, you gotta check the back stock, and there is no back stock.
Could you please check again?
They're just people. They're not lying to you. They're just doing their job. Sometimes before you're mean to those people, just take a deep breath and realize that they're just people.
Yes.
Don't be mean to them.
Yes. I don't think in my life I can ever recall a time that I have ever been mean to somebody that ever wanted to help me out at any place. At a restaurant, anything. You know what? If I say something to you, there's a friend that I have. Hold on, let me backtrack. There's a friend that we have that when we go to... Like when we go out to eat, we cannot have her order in the drive-thru because they will spit in our food. Because it's give me this and give me that and let me have this. I'd spit in your food too. Like, so I've always never taken it out, no matter what. Because people like in the food industry, I can only imagine that they're hangry.
Right. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure 100%. You got that at the deli where people are just angry and you're not in your right mind. I've been hangrier before, but nobody's paid the price like in a restaurant at all. Like I've never taken it out on them because you know what? You should probably spit in my food. I've watched that movie Waiting.
I'm a picky person when it comes to ordering, and a lot of it has to do with like, you know, there's certain things when I go out to eat that I can't eat because they don't make me feel very good. But I never like I try to make it as easy as possible. Like, can you just make this but just don't put onions on it? And then I can pick off whatever else I don't like. I try not to be overly needy when it comes to ordering food. And I'm usually, even if they mess it up, I'm normally not mad. I only get mad when they're rude about it.
Right. Like I'm always apologizing. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but like, could you pop this in the microwave for a couple minutes more? But that hasn't happened. I mean, that might have been once in my lifetime. I'll just eat it. It's just a job. So the moral of the story is be nice to your Domino's delivery pizza because you don't know the pressures that he's been under.
Right.
That'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. You can listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. Interact with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We had an amazing live stream last Sunday night, so find us there at CC Mouse Podcast. Check out our merch at ccmousepodcast.shop. There's new stuff showing up every week. And we also have a Patreon if you would like some bonus content. So we'll see you guys next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye.
Bye. Hey, we did the thing.